all that good stuff. Here, where?
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Well, it's finally good to meet you.
Good to meet you, kind sir. I love this thought process, what you guys are doing.
Well, you know, what I wanted to do was, like, we run a channel, and I'm trying to get out to, like, all throughout the county. And people that, like yesterday, I had some guys in here that want to do hunting and outdoors, so.
Yeah.
Okay, and they got a few of their own sponsors and whatever. But we don't charge nobody nothing.
Gotcha.
We let them do their own shows. We come in. Of course, we do commercials.
Right.
And then we charge, or actually, we split the revenues with the person who's putting the show on.
Cool.
You know, so they can do whatever show they want to. Our bandwidth, AT&T be here tomorrow. They put in our dedicated fiber optics line.
Cool.
And we have the capability of, like, just broadcasting 24/7.
Nice.
We have unlimited bandwidth. We have 50 megs upload, which, you know, upload speed is what, and it's dedicated.
Right.
So, and we have a router and stuff that already came in, but tomorrow we're going to do the fiscal court meeting.
That's what I was going to say. If you can do the fiscal court meetings and all that stuff.
We're probably going to have to tape that
That's
one
fine.
tomorrow.
That's fine.
Because AT&T will be in the building tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but after that, we can start live streaming, and
Nice.
we can be able to Wi-Fi straight from here to there.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's what I'm saying. And
That's
so,
been missing. I mean, that's.
but we
that's
wanted
been
to. You was talking about the tourism there when you came in, and it was like same thing with the tourism, ATV riders,
Yep.
the ATV parks. We want to get people to do their own ATV show.
Yep.
And see, because our broadcast is
with
just
some
not.
GoPro top footage and different things cut into it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah.
But see, our
Absolutely.
broadcast is not. It's not just. It's not. We don't broadcast to YouTube or Facebook or something like that. You know, I mean, we have the capability.
Right.
to
You
do it.
can.
But with our encoding box, what we do is we pay a service fee,
Uh-huh.
and we go to Roku TV and Apple
Yeah.
TV and
Yeah.
Amazon Fire.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, to our own website, which is formatted so anybody on the phone can get it. So it just practically anybody in the
About
world.
anything. Yeah. Really, anybody can
you
tune
know.
in at any time, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Or-
and just us being able so people could be in their bedrooms or living rooms and watch TV
Yeah.
about Harlan County.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there, you know as well as I do, we've had so many people that's lived here and moved out, you know, and they want to tune back in. And I was thinking with the tourism thing too, you know, it allows people to, I mean, it's promoting the county.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And my belief is sort of like, we've lost a lot of our culture.
Yep.
So I'm here to, like, try to
Yeah.
reinstill our
That's my thoughts,
culture,
too.
you know, highlight our past, you know,
Yes.
show our present, but also, you know, forecast our
What
future.
did let's see, how did that go again in my campaign door hangers? It was, how was that? Promoting their future while preserving their past, I think is what it was.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
kinda basically, that's my thought.
Exactly.
I wanna, some of the things I've been talking with, like with the swap meeting team that's up there that puts that together. Last year, they kind of got it dumped in their lap. It was their first go around, and they were really overwhelmed. They were underwater the whole time, didn't have a clue really what they were doing as far as the festival. And I had a lot of things going on, of course, first year stuff. So it was breaking my heart to watch it kind of crumble to a degree.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes you have to break eggs to make omelets. So I think maybe that was some of the process last year was there was a breaking process going on, and I want to take that back. My father worked at Southeast in '77, '67.
Yeah, I
He
remember
was over the CETA program
He
or
came to
whatever.
our house
there.
one time.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s.
There you go. Probably recruiting or whatever for different people.
I know he was talking to my dad. I was a kid. then.
and or
I remember.
he was either sheriffing or recruiting for the college or both.
Yeah.
But that's back when the swap meeting was a little more, and I don't necessarily, you can't do that now because of insurance purposes. They had the tug of war, the greased pigs, the tobacco spitting contest, the greased pole. They had a lot of just fun, down home type activities. And although you can't do a lot of those, I still really want that to be a festival that is more heritage and roots oriented to our area. I don't want it to be I mean, we had Polk Salad Festival, and I'm not downing that, but I don't need another pair of Chinese sunglasses. I'm good.
Right.
You know, I'd much rather buy a broom that someone made, or a basket, or
Right.
some flowers.
Well, it's like we have some women here that
different
do
things
quilting.
like
They
that.
have a quilting clubs here.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
And we want them to do a show. You know, anybody that has anything that has to do with culture, arts,
Exactly.
anything about Harlan County, so that we can promote it. And you know, I just think.
And there's nobody following in the footsteps. So, because a lot of people don't know that that's still available,
Right.
or even know what it is.
Exactly.
And if you, I'm a firm believer that knowledge is power, first and foremost.
Yes.
So you have to get that knowledge out there
Right.
before it can do anything. If I have the cure for cancer, but I'm the only one that knows it,
Yeah.
it's pointless.
Exactly.
You have to get information out there, and I don't want to really equate making a quilt to curing cancer, but at the same time, in some people's mind, in some people's minds, it's as big an ordeal. If you're depressed, if you're very introverted, very into yourself, gone through some hard situations, maybe it's good just to have 2 or 3 people to sew with.
Right.
That may keep you alive. I mean, the ramifications, ripple effects of things sometimes we don't know.
Right.
This COVID-19 thing is going to have ripple effects that no one has even anticipated yet. And
I went out and got my Hardee's while ago before they shut the restaurants down.
Before they shut
I don't know.
You know
the
what's
drive-thrus are open.
I thought about that too. And when I was in Cumberland, I had some stuff at home to eat that I said,
They
I need to
may
eat
be
that before it
next,
goes
I don't
bad. And I
know.
thought, I might need to go to the restaurant. Now
I
I'm going to finish off what I got there.
I was thinking about even going. I said, they may close the gas stations down. I may have to go get a fill up. You know.
That's other things that I'm trying to
like,
think about.
I don't know. I was like, what's going to happen next? You know, it was. I mean, bad shutting down the basketball tournament was bad enough for me. But I was like, really? Now we're shutting down restaurants? I was like, come on.
And you can you can purchase a lot of gas at the pump, but there still has to be gas in the ground before it comes out of the pump. So if you start having issues with interstate travels and
no, exactly.
it could go. And I'm not that guy. I'm the most optimistic person possibly in Harlan County, but I'm also a realist.
Yeah.
I have equal parts of realism and optimism.
Yeah.
So you have to be optimistic, hope for the best, but always plan
Well,
for the what
everybody's
ifs.
going out and buying toilet paper.
Yeah.
You hear it, see it all over the internet,
Yeah.
Facebook and stuff. And I was like, so I went out last night. My daughter's here with me, and I was telling her, I was like, you know what? I said, I need to go out and buy just a roll of toilet paper. I was like, I don't know where to start because everybody's telling me they're out. So I found a roll, but
as strange as that is, I did the exact same thing. I went out last night after talking to a couple people. They said, I'm not sure where this thing's going, but I do have some concerns that I didn't have before, and don't really want to get into it with a text or whatever. It takes too long to discuss. But you may want to look at a couple of weeks worth of food just in case.
Yeah,
and I said,
exactly. Yeah.
So I went and got the what I call the country boy staples. I went and got the case of canned Lux pinto beans, and then I went and got the dry beans to go with it. And I
bought the big bag.
Yeah.
And I got a big bag of rice, and a big bag of beans.
That's it. And then
I said, well, at least if something happens, I won't starve to death immediately.
That's exactly right.
Gives me time to plan.
And I had to get the hot sauce to go with it. That was the 3 staples: the rice, beans, and the hot sauce.
So you've been Magistrate now
a little over a year.
And is it what you expected?
It is. I guess, Billy, probably about, in all reality, about 30% of it was what I truly expected. And there has been 30% of it that has, I guess surprised is a good term to use. Just I was unaware of some things.
Right.
And then there's been another 40% that has been also a surprise, but in a very positive way. And I don't even want to say anything's negative. There are just some. There are some areas and things that my goal, or as I foresaw my role as a magistrate, was, and I kind of told people this. I said, I'll be your biggest cheerleader and promoter for District 3 Harlan County. That's what I want to be. First and foremost, District 3 Harlan County is going to be. I want the world to know about this place.
Right.
Secondly, I want them to know about Harlan County. Thirdly, I want them to know about the region. So you start where you're elected to be.
Right.
And I do think it's the greatest place in the region. I am a little bit biased. I am from there, but I do think. But that's not to take away from anything else we have. I just think we have a good concentration of jewels there. We'll say easily mined jewels, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But our county is chock full of jewels
I agree.
that no one knows about. And it breaks my heart that there's 12.5 million people last year that visited the Smoky Mountain National Forest.
Exactly.
Now, I've been to Pigeon Forge and Smoky Mountain several times and have never been personally to the National Forest.
Right.
So if 12.5 have gone to the National Forest, how many millions have gone to just Pigeon Forge? And let me absolutely add into that, I don't want to be Pigeon Forge.
Right.
I would love to have 1% of their traffic come through here, though.
Yeah.
I've kind of coined this phrase lately. I want to be the best Mayberry on the planet. I don't need I-75 running through here, to be perfectly frank.
Right,
I see if you look at Laurel County and some of the things in Knox County, it's not really helped.
No, exactly.
In fact, in some ways, it's detracted from what they had.
Exactly.
And
I agree.
my grandmother lived on Falls Road when I was a child, and it was a great place. It was just like here, just different, just down the road, as they say, with different things to offer. And now that place is dealing. They certainly had the opioid epidemic hit that place with both fists.
Right.
Not that we've not been taken back from it, but it was just on a different scale there. Stolen cars, or I mean, there's just so many things that they're dealing with there that we don't have to, and I don't. And some of that is due just to the proximity of easy traffic flow, I-75 and things of that nature. And I'm not poo-pooing on them, but another term I use a lot is, let's take the lemons we've got and fully squeeze them. And I don't expect, I'm going to make a big push. I'm the only elected Republican in the entire Harlan County.
Right.
The only person that actually, I guess occupied a new seat in the last election. But I've got pictures equally with Matt Bevin, and I've got pictures with Bashir. I want to work with anyone that wants to work with us, and I really don't care who it is
Right.
and what their ideology or philosophies are if they don't affect us.
Right.
They can strip at the strip club at night if that's what they want to do. But when you come to Harlan, when in Rome do as the Romans do, and don't try to bring that necessarily to us. Just let us enhance what we have.
Right.
And I don't expect them. I wouldn't expect Loretta Lynn to come in here and open Dollywood Jr. if we're not using what we've got already. And again, I don't really want Loretta Lynn. I'd love for her to come here and do a concert every now and then, but I don't really want her to open a theme park here. I've had conversations just recently with a group called Backroads of Appalachia. I don't know if you're familiar with them at all. This is kind of taking place since mid-January, so it's moving pretty rapidly. And they're basically, if you're a motorcyclist or anyone out there that knows anything about motorcycling, has it probably at least heard something about Tail of the Dragon. That's Deals Gap, Tennessee, and it goes into North Carolina. It's 300 some odd curves in a fairly short distance. Motorcyclists from around the world and sports car club people from around the world go there to drive this really curvy road. Guess what we got in abundance? Really curvy roads. We also have the highest point in Kentucky. So there's a twofer. We also have some of the friendliest folks you'll meet on the planet. There's a three. You just start adding the things up that we already have, that we already possess. And with some of the conversations I've had with Adam Bowling, Chris Fugit, Senator Johnny Ray Turner, and others, I'm trying to promote what I call a win, not just a win-win situation, but a win-win-win-win-win-win-win situation. As Trump would say, you'll be so tired of winning. But this is a win-win-win-win-win situation. And what it is for instance, the Backroads of Appalachia group has designated Highway 160, which basically goes from Appalachia, Virginia. It continues on, but I'm saying from Cumberland to Appalachia, Virginia, just to kind of shorten it down. So, of course, it crosses over and starts into Letcher County, which is fine, too. That's kind of a phase 2, but their phase 1 is to take that Cumberland, Benham, Lynch, highest point in Kentucky. If you want to turn around and come back, I'm good with that. Virginia might not like me to say that. They want some people to come over there.
Right.
But going into Appalachia. So that has 200, I believe they counted 256 curves in that short amount, mostly just on the mountain, that short amount of space. They have, they've been promoting this kind of behind the scenes a little bit and are just now, it's just now kind of getting to the forefront. For instance, there is a magazine out there called Hog Magazine. I wasn't aware of this. I don't own a Harley. It's Harley Owners Group. If you buy a Harley Davidson for 1 year, you get a subscription. If you want to, you can resubscribe at the end of that year forever.
Right.
Has over 3 million subscribers. 3 million people receive, over 3 million receive this magazine. Every year they do a top 10 destinations to ride. This year, the 2020 top 10 destinations to ride. Number 3 on that is Highway 160 that crosses through Lynch, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Number 3. 3+ million people. Now, if they only want to do the top 3, guess what? We're number 3.
Right.
We're positioned perfectly. There's another thing, this tail of the dragon, and then there's a back of the dragon in Virginia. We're positioned perfectly right in the center of that. So they're going to do like an Iron Dragon run.
You
Where
know
you're
how
going to
many
do all
people
3.
are like?
There's 3 million that subscribe to that magazine. The gentleman that is promoting this it's under Dragon Slayer 160, and you can look at it on look it up on Facebook. And he has, I'm going to assume, I could almost presume today he did it. Yesterday he was at, I can give you some exact numbers, I believe, if I put on my eyes. Let's see, because I always hate to I hate when I get misquoted on things, and I hate to misquote people, so I'm that guy.
Well, I think if you misquote me right here, we got it on tape, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still.
But as of yesterday, now this is for 28 days, and you may be more social media or social presence aware. On February 15th through March 30th, post reach 2.9 million people, post engagement 363,000. New page likes 2,344. Now this is just for the Dragon Slayer 160. This is just for that section of road I talked about, basically from Cumberland to Appalachia. That page only. That's not the full back roads of Appalachia. That's just for Dragon Slayer 160. So it is. I've thought time and time again, Billy, how we can, what I call put butts in seats, how we can get actual factual living, breathing people into our area so they can experience what I feel like we're graced by God to experience every single day, honestly.
Yeah.
So the Portal 31 has been a draw. There has been some draw to that. Kingdom Come State Park, highest park in Kentucky in elevation, has some draw effects to it. I've been working with Colby Kirk, One Harlan County. He got some grants for us to do ADA sidewalk compliance so we can have tour buses coming in. So there's been a lot of small elements and things coming together, and like what I like to call hundreds of tourists at a time, or possibilities for hundreds of tourists to increase by the year. This has the potential to put that on steroids, and then put that on steroids, and then put that on steroids again.
Right.
There are already car groups that have contacted me, that have contacted this gentleman. Volkswagen Club of America wants to come in. They're bringing, and that's a more local chapter. They're 60 plus members. There's the Miata Club of America that wants to do. There's a, and I will screw this up, so I'll apologize. But it's a Japanese term for highest peak. They want to come in because it's the highest peak and do a ride through there. It's on and on and on. The group that does, if you've ever watched that Pikes Peak Challenge, where they race sports cars all the way up to the top of Pikes Peak, they've already expressed an interest.
Wow.
I've already gotten an okay with Sherry Cornyn, who runs the Kingdom Come State Park up there.
Right.
She said, I'll close the road off. They could do time races all the way up there, and then take that out Layton Trail to the top of Whitesburg Mountain. I've already spoken to the judge executive, Terry, over there in Letcher County. He said, we'll take them up and down both sides of the mountain, close the road off. So this thing is
So
getting a snowball effect right now. That's unbelievable. And I want them to see Martins Fork Lake, and I want them to see Blanton Forest, and I want them to see all the other beautiful things that we have here. Anyone will tell you in tourism, day 3 is the key. I anticipate this first year it's probably going to be a day trip for most of these motorized tourists.
is the county doing anything to
The
work?
county is just starting to kind of get on board. I did have some members of county government that to kind of vet this guy. He came with letters of recommendation from several different cities around us. They're already got their nonprofit set up in Virginia and Tennessee and have been working there. The Back Roads of Appalachia has. So I wanted them vetted really well. Not that I'm looking a gift horse in the mouth. Certainly, if 10,000 people want to show up, great, that's awesome. But I kind of wanted to know more about what he was doing, because this is something that it was not completely out of my periphery, but it was pretty far out there. Really had to turn my attention to it. So he's been vetted, he's been checked. We've checked with other county judge executives. I don't know, someone said it may have been on last night. I don't think it's supposed to be on until April 8th or 10th, but Norman Reedus, which was Daryl on The Walking Dead, if anyone knows him, the motorcycle guy on The Walking Dead. This gentleman helped facilitate him coming into the Red River Gorge area last year, and he did a ride there through Red River Gorge, and that's going to be, I'm going to screw the name up. It's like Norman Reedus Sees America or something like that.
I had no idea that you were so involved with this like this.
Oh my gosh, I could go on and on and on. And that's one portion and one part.
I had no idea. Because I mean, you know, when we scheduled this, we was just like, I mean, there was no free.
Yeah, just
there
kind
was
of
no free thing, right?
No, we didn't. No contact. I just said, you know, I told you I probably need about 3 hours really to talk about this. And well, this is one aspect and one element of it. When you, what I always talk about, which is the biggest issue that we've got, and I'm diligently trying to work on this as well. If 10,000 people show up here, we don't have a place for them to lay their head.
Oh yeah.
We've got to have lodging, and then even beyond that, if you look countywide. If you go to the PVA's office and pull up probably average age of homes, you're not going to find many above I mean, an average is going to hit about 1930, 1920 something.
Yeah.
Every house in Lynch was built prior to 1925.
Yeah.
Every house in Benham was built. Well, I say every. 95% of the houses in Lynch and Benham were built prior to 1925. You're dealing with 100-year-old structures now. I mean, we can talk about insulation properties. We can talk about all those things. We can talk about lead paint. We can talk about asbestos. Those are all real issues for our people. Why our cancer rate's so high? That's definitely got to contribute to some of it.
Yeah.
But even more importantly, just age of structures. 100-year-old homes that haven't been meticulously maintained. We're going to have a housing crisis at some point in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I noticed when I was up in Lynch, I worked the precinct there last spring, last election, and and the people up there were great until I found out I was from Everett.
Still an old high school rivalry from way back. Been a lot of busted bus windows over that rivalry.
I got out there, and they were great people, really.
Yeah.
And then I mean, once I found out Everett, then I started telling them I was from Frankfurt. They didn't like that one.
Yeah, you're a G-man all of a sudden, so that's no help.
But we had a good time up there with the folks. It was very friendly.
They are.
And they were giving me the history of some of the buildings that was right there around us, you know.
Yes.
And they started telling me stories about, you know, and so that was one of the things
history.
I wanted to like preserve some of those stories from our older folks too.
Yes.
And I mean, but with the tourism thing and everything that can go, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of potential, as you were saying.
Oh my gosh.
And is the county getting? Is the magistrates all?
I've had conversations with the
I mean, I haven't talked to you.
No. I've had conversations with the magistrates individually. Of course, you don't have quorums and things. You can't be more than 3 together at any particular thing. But we've been at conferences where that is. I guess those rules don't necessarily apply there, and we've had dinners and breakfasts and different things like that, and had some basic conversations. Of course, as long as you're not taking action, it doesn't
I mean,
fall under
well,
any kind of issue.
I guess what I was like, I
conversation.
mean, is there no like, because I think it's very important that all the 5 districts get along and have some kind of, you know, common ground to where they're working together with each other, because we're all in this thing together.
We are.
Know, so.
And the good news I can tell you is I've not met, now your Magistrate Bill Moore, who I have a ton of respect for.
Right.
He is probably the most district-minded of all the magistrates. I mean, he is absolutely a District 2 person.